Okay, congratulations. You are this close to closing on your new home. Hi, my name is Mitzi Nowosky, realtor in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, and through a high-touch, customized approach, I help people just like you sell their home for the most amount of money possible in the least amount of time, and together we find your dream property so that you can step into your next adventure with excitement and confidence. Today, I just want to cover the basic steps of the home closing process. There's all these steps from the beginning of hiring a realtor all the way to the closing table when you finally get the keys to your new home. And I'm going to cover that chunk towards the end. If you're curious about any of those earlier steps, make sure to check out my other videos. So right before closing, you're going to do the final walkthrough. Typically this happens either the night before closing or like the morning of. I try to do my final walkthroughs with my clients the morning of, just so that we don't have 12 hours before we're actually going to the closing table where, a pipe might burst or something like that and your house is flooded. So I try to do the final walkthrough the day of and just make sure that everything is exactly as it should be, only an hour or two before closing so that there's as little of time as possible for anything to go wrong. And so we do that final walkthrough. I often will grab the list of inclusions that's written on the purchase agreement. So we make sure the washer and the dryer are still in the home. We make sure some of those repairs were actually completed that we agreed upon in the inspection negotiation. So I'll bring the inspection contingency removal sheet with me. So I've got all those repairs listed out that we agreed on with the seller would be taken care of. So we walk through the home, make sure everything looks good, make sure all their personal property is taken out, and that everything that we agreed upon repair-wise, inclusions-wise, and just how the home is going to be presented to my client is all as it should be. And then we head off to the closing table. The closing is often a long hour of just signing. Your hand's going to get tired. But as far as, having to bring a bunch of stuff with you, you really don't have to. The main thing you need to bring with you is your driver's license and a cashier's check for your down payment. Other than that, that is pretty much it. If there's anything else that the lender or the title company need from you, they'll let you know. But typically it's pretty simple and you just need to bring your down payment, check with you, and your driver's license. And then you just get to sit at the closing table. The title, your title representative, your closer as we call it, will go through all the paperwork with you. They'll go through the loan documents. That's usually the bulk of it is the loan documents. So if you're financing the home, that piece will take a long time. If you are paying with cash, your closing will probably only be like 15 to 20 minutes long. If you're financing, it could be 30 to 40 minutes long, sometimes an hour, just depending. And so they'll go through all the paperwork with you. You'll kind of sign as you go. They'll explain things. If you have questions, it's a great time to ask. Hopefully by that point, you won't have too many questions. Hopefully your realtor and your lender and your closer will have educated you leading up to closing so that you kind of know what you're going to be seeing and signing on the day of closing. But if you do have questions, it still is a good time to ask because everybody's right there, all the paperwork's right there, and they can kind of explain things to you in more detail. So when you're done closing, it is official and your realtor should hand you over the keys to your new home. And then at that point, you can literally start moving in. So that is kind of the steps for closing. It's typically pretty simple. Hopefully things go really smoothly and you don't run into issues. Sometimes there's kind of some crazy phone calls and crazy things that happen at the last minute, but a good realtor will be able to guide you through that process and help you navigate any of those bumps in the road and get them smoothed out so that you can close successfully and on time. If you have any questions about the closing process, feel free to drop a comment below. And if you have any questions about the transaction process of a real estate transaction in general, make sure to ask in the comment section and I will try to do more videos and fill in your gaps of knowledge so that you can make it to the closing table with confidence. Other than that, that is all I have for today. So thank you so much for watching.